Made possible through support from ARC Thrift Stores, Colorado Access, Colorado Developmental Disabilities Council, Developmental Pathways, PASCO, and the ARC of Aurora. Think Change Talks. People with disabilities experience higher rates of unemployment than those without disabilities. If we are to achieve an enriched culture, people with disabilities must be given the opportunity to contribute to society. Businesses Changing the Status Quo, Shifting the Face of Disability Employment, a series of different perspectives.
Hi, my name is Brent Anderson. I am an entrepreneur with autism.
I'm Jenny Anderson. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Celebrate EDU, which is a nonprofit that teaches entrepreneurship to people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. I'm Brent's sister. Just really wanted to share about the entrepreneurial journey and how it's a great option for many people that they might not have considered before. We're talking about disability employment. It can be a great fit.
Well, I have two businesses. The first one I have is Unintentional Humor, which I've written a series of books about how I as a person with autism, take language very literally. So I have cartoons and short stories that show how I literally took different forms of language and why humor is very important and why it can be difficult for people with disabilities to understand certain kinds of humor and language. I started a new business called Pets Pizzazz, where I make items called snuffle mats and other catnip toys because I've always loved animals, and so I wanted to do a business that was a focus on pets, and it's really taken off. I've sold thousands of my books over the past 12 years or so, and in just 10 months I've sold hundreds of my snuffle mats. So it's really been, the success has been like lots of sales and a lot of praise from others, including my customers.
Celebrate EDU is a nonprofit that teaches entrepreneurship to people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We have a whole wide variety of classes that are run online mostly that introduce entrepreneurship to those who aren't familiar with it as an option or self-employment, all the way up to creating a business plan and starting your own business. The organization was inspired by Brent's journey through disability employment. He started looking for jobs, but really found entrepreneurship to be the thing that worked for him. And we wanted that opportunity to be available to more people because it's such a great fit for certain people to start businesses. We also do some coaching for people who have businesses and provide microgrants of up to $500 for people who are just getting started with their businesses if they want to invest to really see if starting a business will work for them or help it get off the ground. Just seeing Brent, who I know is incredibly capable of a lot, struggle through the employment options he was given and then find entrepreneurship as the path that worked for him. Watching that from the sideline as a sibling, seeing him go through that whole process really was the reason I wanted to start Celebrate EDU, because I wanted there to be more options that were more available, easily available to people who were looking at a similar situation and wanting more options. It's really easy to support an entrepreneur with a disability. Following them on social media is the easiest thing you can do. Just a quick button, liking their posts helps so much more than you think. Making purchases from small businesses run by people with disabilities is also not hard. I hope people shift their perspective that self-employment is not the backup option, that it is a great first option for many people with disabilities. I think a lot of the narrative around self-employment is they couldn't find a job, so they started a business, which is what happened for Brent, but that shouldn't always be how people find self-employment, and there are certain people who want to start a business initially, and that shouldn't be looked at as, oh, that can be a backup option after you try other things. I think people who aren't familiar with people with disabilities closely feel really intimidated by the idea that it's this entire new thing that they need to learn about and undertake in order to include people with disabilities in the workspaces that exist. And I really don't think it's as difficult as people think. And if they just took a little time and had a few conversations, it would not feel as daunting, I think, for sure.
I agree.
To learn more about convenient and contemporary educational products through ThinkChange, visit www.thinkchange.training.